Hello, this is Joe Patterson with Realogics, Sotheby's International Realty, and it is June 1st of 2020, and today, Monday, we're going to look over the results from last week to answer your question of how's the Seattle real estate market? Just to note that this report is only regarding single-family housing within Seattle and not within condos. That will be a follow-up video. So in this video, we're going to look at basically what the inventory is doing, our median list price over last week's list price, what the average days on market are, and to answer the question, are we still in a seller's market? So when we look at our average days on market, we actually decreased by 1 day. Now, one thing that I want to note is that to be considered active inventory and on the market, this is anything that is actually for sale, pending, contingent, pending inspection. We only consider something to be absorbed or taken off the market when it is sold or if it is delisted. The highest price segment, which I thought was really interesting, is basically decreased by 4 days on the market. So that's anything from about $1.7 million and above. Actually, we saw that it shed 4 days from last week. And that our average days on market are still higher than where we saw last year at this time. But I think that we're probably going to see the spring peak hit a little bit later this year due to the coronavirus. Now, when I talked about the market segments, you can see that we break this down to 25% or by quarters. So we basically break that down by the price point. And as you can see, when I alluded to before, that the median price point of 1.7 and above, we saw 38 hit the market as new, and we saw 35 that were actually absorbed. So when you look at that days on market, category, you're going to notice that it's going to seem maybe a little bit different than what you're used to with things like 50, 47, 46, and 92. So keep in mind that that is also including anything that is considered pending or under contract or contingent. So I think a better way to look at that is when you just kind of take the average of a close, which is 30 days, off of that. So you're really seeing that things that are kind of around $530,000 are really spending about just a little bit less than 3 weeks on the market on average. Now, keep in mind that this is for Seattle as a whole. We can deep dive into specific zip codes personally. Now, when you look at inventory, I think this is really telling. So we actually did see an inventory increase over last week from 888. We are sitting at about 907 active homes. Last year, though, this figure was about 1,400. And that started when we started seeing prices kind of plateau and level off. Now, when you go back to 2017 and 2018, we're actually seeing that that number is below 830. So we are starting to see listings pick up, which I think is telling because we're seeing the coronavirus and shelter in place things that are kind of relaxing a little bit. And we're starting to see more people that are venturing out, and real estate is obviously considered a essential activity, and I think more people are looking to get into the spring market. Now, with median list price, we actually did see an increase there. We're still not above where we were for when I usually put like March 13th as that time when basically the shelter in place order started happening. But we're not too far off from that. So we did see the median price increase, and we're almost back to where we were pre-crisis. And then you can even see that year over year, we're actually up as well in the average list price. Now, the market action index is something that I use a lot. And basically what it is it kind of tells us like what type of market we're in, whether we're in a buyer's market, a seller's market, a strong seller's market, a neutral market. And if you look at the top graph, you'll notice that dotted line kind of fluctuates a little bit more than the solid line. That dotted line is actually the 7-day average line. And as you can see, again, from right around that peak of around March 13th, we did see a pretty rapid decline just kind of immediately due to the shelter in place restrictions. And we are actually seeing that tick up a little bit. So we are starting to see that market action index rise a little bit higher and get more into what's considered a strong seller's market. And then again, when you look below on the market action segments, those are those 4 kind of quarters of the price buckets that we really kind of look at. And you'll notice that the lines are trending down, except for the fourth one, or the first one, which is the blue one. But again, that's the 90-day average. So I do foresee that we will start to see this trending up. We are still solidly, though, in a seller's market. So yep, still in a seller's market. For more information, you can click the link below and you can actually get this report sent to your email once a week. You can reach out to me at joe.patterson@rsir.com or go to www.agentjoe.com and reach out to me there. But like I said, feel free to reach out or DM me with any questions. I'm more than happy to deep dive into your specific zip code, because obviously not every part of Seattle is the same, and we have to kind of really do a hyper focus in order to get those analytics to really speak for where your house or where you want to buy is located. So thanks so much for watching my video, and I will see you next week.